years worth of content here. So I'm like the perfect case study of what you're saying not to do, because I know for a lot of people that's kind of a scary thing.
Right.
And you don't have to do that. You don't have to go full bore. You don't have to start a YouTube. It's time consuming, and it's very like as I'm sitting here, I'm like, I hope my video went live 15 minutes ago.
Here we go. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I apologize for the weird sunlight shining situation. It's one of the wonderful things about sun at this time of day. Am I right? So very excited to have tonight. We're going to have Jamie. Here she is. I'm going to add her in right now. If my phone decided... It says Jamie must upgrade her app in order to join. Let's see. Can you try to join, Jamie? Try to see if you can like request to join. The joys of tech. So, hey, Lawrence and Michael, it's my boys. So we're going to be talking about diversifying your streams of income, and I think obviously with the pandemic and everything going on right now. Oh, you guys are so sweet. And I would love swag. I think everybody needs swag from Black Gay Weddings. I think that's just, kind of a given, right? I mean, and it it needs to be like, obviously you guys are in California, so it's like summer attire. I think that would be always very good. Hey there, Luna Rose. Thanks for sharing about our event tonight. Let's see. With this ring, Ivy Wed, you wanna join us? Because if I say okay, then that means that you're coming on. Hold on here. I don't know. Oops. Jamie, I think Jamie's supposed to be coming on. She says yes. All right, Jamie, we need you to upgrade your app so you can come live with us. So in the meantime, we are going to have With This Ring Ivy Wed. Say hey. Okay, Jamie's trying to get in. Hey there, is this...
Hi,
What's your name?
Leora.
Laura,
Willis.
nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Jamie's working on getting her app updated so she can join us. But how are you doing today? Where are you located?
In Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay, wonderful. How's the weather? Is it nice and like springy?
It is today. It's in the high 60s, a little overcast, but I already went for a walk, so it's a great day.
Oh, good. That's good. I love going for walks. I think it's like one of the best ways to like kind of de-stress and obviously get a little exercise in and all that good stuff. You can think and clear your head.
Exactly.
Awesome. So tell us about your business and tell us about kind of some things that you're struggling with or going through right now.
So I came in late, so I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm not really having any struggles. I am a wedding officiant.
Okay.
And I think the biggest challenge is for couples to know when to obtain their marriage license. In Virginia, we have a limitation of 60. It's only valid 60 days from the date of issuance. So, yeah. And in DC, it doesn't expire.
Okay.
And in Virginia, it's good for 6 months. So if you're thinking about getting married sometime in the next month or two, you really need to take care of that now.
Uh-huh.
For example, DC is taking 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Virginia, depending on which court you go to, can take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks because nobody's doing it in person.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I think Jamie just joined us. Hey, Jamie.
Hello. Of all of the technical difficulties for us to come across, I was like, everything's good. I've got lighting. We're plugged in. I'm good. And then like update the app.
You're hilarious. Well, my lighting is the sun, and the sun is slowly setting on us.
Yeah. Well, you'll get that golden hour glow on you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I love the sun. I'm just like, it's a little too much probably, but that's what sunscreen's for. That's what sunscreen's for.
There you go.
We're excited. So, I don't mean to cut you off with this ring, Ivy Wed, But it was so good to see your face. And I'm so glad you got to walk in. I'm a big fan of walking as well. So awesome, awesome. Oh, it's dark in the UK. Yeah, no, Luna Rose, I hear you. It's like, it's one of those things like with, all that fun stuff. But
yeah.
But yes, but with this Ring Ivy Wed, you guys definitely connect. And I love the tip, because I think it's important for people to understand. I mean, there's so many moving parts, obviously, with planning a wedding, but knowing that right now in Virginia, it's only valid for 60 days. It's really good information, and it's taking a little bit longer. I think that's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand or kind of know about. They're just kind of like going with it and seeing like, okay, I can have my wedding now. And that's not exactly the case if you want your license.
Yeah. Yeah.
Important part.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate you joining in. And have a great night, Jamie. So Jamie is going to be talking about diversifying your income.
Yeah, buddy. I am all about that.
So tell us, Jamie. So what are some of the ways that you were, so obviously when you were starting, right, as a wedding planner, you were doing wedding planning.
Yeah.
But then what were some of the ways that you kind of started to think outside the box of like just wedding planning and just getting your income through that one source?
Well, I mean, the first step was obviously YouTube, which I shouldn't say accidentally, I didn't anticipate would turn into an income stream. And actually now is more than wedding planning, which is crazy, which is a really cool thought. And I also encourage so many other vendors. I'm like, this is such an untapped resource. Like, check it out. Definitely give it a shot. And I think that's kind of where my mind opened up to go, oh, wait. I can make money on wedding planning without just wedding planning. Right. And that really was the first eye-opening experience, but it's not something I delved into for a while until probably after 2 years. Well, let's be honest, I like mulled it over for a super long time. Like about 6 months into my wedding video journey, I was like, I should turn this into a course. And then of course, imposter syndrome and self-doubt like crept in, and I didn't touch it for like over 2 years. I was like, no, I didn't like maybe. And so I kind of put that off until I finally launched it. And that just opened my eyes to a whole new world of affiliate marketing, which for me, I was like, affiliate marketing sounds kind of cringe for a lot of people where they're like, I don't know if I like it. There is so much opportunity for if you're talking about something that you enjoy. And I know a lot of people, when they hear affiliate marketing, like, we all see that one influencer who's like, swipe up for my favorite mom jeans. And you're like, that's like maybe an affiliate link. We all know it's fine. And that's the name of the game. Like I have a whole personal brand that I'm working on too. I totally get it. Like it has a cringy connotation, but if you can kind of look past that a little bit, there's a lot of power to be had there, especially if you're talking about products that you love and you believe in, because your community shows up for you because they trust you. So that's kind of what started the path and then opened my eyes, and it's kind of been a wild journey.
That's really cool. And I think, I mean, let's just talk for a second, like affiliate marketing, I think it definitely has that kind of, and I don't want to say bad rap, but it's definitely one of those things that people are like, it's like gross and icky. But then when you think about it, like how many times do you recommend things?
Yeah.
Right? And you normally recommend them because of two reasons. One, you know and love that product and or whatever, and like you don't get any, like you just know and you love it and you want to share the world, right? And then two, sometimes you kind of hear about something and it's like, oh well, if I can be helpful, right? And but I think on both sides of that, really it's based on the fact that you as an expert have experience.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you are giving your recommendation, you're not giving it as some like rando on the street that you just happened to meet.
Yeah.
You're giving it because you have experience to back up what it is that you're talking about. And so on the positive side of affiliate marketing, you're getting paid for your experience and that recommendation, not just to be sleazy.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, think about the products that you love that you tell your best friend about. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And you do it even if you didn't make any money off of it. And I think that's where the consumer needs to be really aware of who they have faith in and who they have trust in. So I think as a content creator, because I hate the term influencer, it makes me ugh. Like, but as a content creator, you have to trust me like in order to believe what I'm sharing. And of course, I'm on YouTube all the time, and so people are getting to know who I am. And I think that that's an important component. But you can't decide whether or not someone is going to trust your opinion. All you can do is just share it as if you're talking to your best friend.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And so obviously YouTube, affiliate marketing, that was definitely one way of kind of diversifying. And what were some of the other ways that you decided like, this is a really good option for me? And like, how did you get to that point where you were like, okay, because I mean, during the, quote unquote, normal times, we're all really busy. So when you think about like diversifying your income, usually that's when you're slower or you don't have as much going on.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously that kind of fits for a lot of people right now still.
A little bit. Yeah.
And so what were some of those things that kind of, propelled you to think of like other ways that you could be helping? And I think this is what's really important for people to understand, like diversifying your income doesn't mean like, hi, I want to be sleazy and I want to try to take people's money in a new way.
Yes. Yeah.
You should be doing this because you like helping people. And if you can find another way to help people, why would you not want to do that? Right? As long as you have the time and the energy and everything like that. So what were some of those kind of catalyst for you?
Well, I would say Heather with the Wedding Hacker. You guys, if you're not following her, like stop everything that you're doing. Go ignore this live and go follow her. This girl she's genius. She helped to develop, because now her and I, we have like a separate business together because I saw everything she was doing and I was like, I can't do that. Help me, show me your ways. So she really opened my eyes to that. So I think I had no idea of the world of possibilities until she started saying, hey, I've heard you talk about this person, or I've heard you talk about that company. You know they have an affiliate program, right? And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm talking about them already, but I could be getting something back as the company's way of saying thank you. So that was the catalyst. It wasn't like I suddenly had this big epiphany. It was like Heather smacked me politely upside the back of the head and was like, what are you doing? Like, just what is happening?
I love it. And sometimes we all need a little polite smack upside the back of our heads.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I've needed many at a time, but I think those are the things that, realizing that sometimes we can get compensated for things that we're already doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, there's things that you do to help wedding planners, and there's things that you do to help couples.
Mm-hmm.
What are some different ways that you feel, whether it's wedding planners or other pros and other, categories, how they can be helpful? Like, obviously there's downloadables, and downloadables or checklists are really popular. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, that can be used as a lead magnet. Sometimes it can be used as top of funnel. Right. If any of that sounds confusing to you guys, just DM us and we can go through the whole thing as well. But, for the sake of this conversation, like moving a lot of those things and understanding what value you can provide for couples or for planners or for whoever it is that you're trying to help, moving that digitally online, I think can be a really good option.
Yeah, I completely agree. I accidentally stumbled on that. And I had no idea that there could be power in that, or that there could be a marketing opportunity in that. I think that we live in a day and age, obviously, of social media. Hello, we're on Instagram Live right now, where people need to have an extra layer of connection to want to work with you. Because if everyone's posting to their stories, or if everyone's posting to their Instagram feed, or everyone's got great TikToks, like then they're going to take the next step of picking someone who is supporting them in a super unique or important way, and or whose personality they like. So I think that taking that next step of offering a digital product is like, it's the smartest thing that you can do, because it sometimes feels like a rat race out there. And so I would say, I definitely want to get past the scarcity mindset. I do think that there's a couple for every client. But if you put together, like I just wrote about this for an interview the other day. I'm like, if you put together 10 top engagement photo shoot spots in Houston, I mean, there are brides out there going, I don't know where I'm gonna have my engagement photo shoot. I don't know what to do. Like, I want it to be really cute. I kind of want it artsy but subtle. I mean, and then you have this amazing list that you've thrown together. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So you just look at those pain points and you're like, I can alleviate that. And it's not hard to do, but is that extra step that a client goes, wow, they didn't have to do this and they did it anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard on the flip side people saying like, well, I don't want to give everything away for free, and I'm you know, why would I want to do that? But I think a lot of times that kind of thought, you're missing the point of those are things that if they don't get that from you, they're going to get it from someone else, number one. Or two, by offering that, you're not necessarily giving away all of your secrets or experience, or you're not planning their wedding. You are literally just giving them some options like, hey, I think these are some good spots you can get your engagement.
Right.
Hey, did you think about this one thing? Like, you're not giving away. I mean, because if that's all that you're doing, then that's a problem.
Well, here's the deal with that. Like, that's what I do. I give away all my best stuff. Like, I don't hold anything back. I share all the stuff on YouTube, and still somehow people are like, hey, can you plan my wedding? I'm like, there's like years worth of content here. So I'm like the perfect case study of what you're saying not to do. Because I know for a lot of people that's kind of a scary thing. Right. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to go full bore. You don't have to start a YouTube. It's time consuming. And it's very, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, I hope my video went live 15 minutes ago. But to not be afraid of that, I think Gordon Ramsay is the perfect example. I'm a total Gordon Ramsay nut job. I love everything Gordon Ramsay. Okay. So he has cooking shows where he tells you how to cook things. Right. And yet he still has restaurants. He has cookbooks, and yet he still has restaurants. Because what's happened is people have become enamored with his brand, with who he is, and they go, I don't want to make it myself. I'm going to go to a restaurant to eat that. So even if you give away your best recipes, your best stuff for free, people are buying into you. They're buying into your brand. They go, that's amazing information. You have just established yourself as an authority in my mind. I'm not going to cook the recipe myself. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to have you cook it, and it's going to be amazing, and I don't have to worry about it. So it's that mind shift.
I love that. And I think the other aspect of that is understanding that not every person who loves Gordon Ramsay, for the example, is going to be someone who enjoys cooking. They might enjoy eating. I enjoy eating. I am not a very good cooker, chef. What do you want to call it? I'm not very good at it. I can do it. I don't necessarily enjoy it. Luna Rose says he's amazing. I mean, Nick Curtis. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we went to London and we tried to eat at one of his restaurants, but we didn't have enough time, and that is one of my life regrets.
Oh my goodness. So, but that's the thing, right? Because it's like you can enjoy food. We're here. I love food. I like to eat.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm the type of person, like, I will do the recipe, and it like you can get it down after it's like all done, but it's not necessarily like you're gonna be like, ooh, fantastic, I'm gonna do this all the time. No. No. But that's the whole point of having, your target audience, your ideal client, whatever you want to call that group of people who they're your people, right? Because when those people, they're your people, they're gonna be like, please, could you cook for me? Could you just do it? Because I just want you to, I want you to do it, right? Yeah. And there's gonna be people who are like, no, I just want your cookbook. Could you just give me your recipe? Because I can do it, right? So understand that by establishing yourself, like you said, as an expert, you can reach a greater audience. And by doing that, right? Because maybe the cookers, chefs, bakers, people who actually do things in the kitchen, maybe they have someone who would be your ideal client, and they're like, hey, let me tell you about this amazing cookbook, wedding planner, photographer, officiant, florist, whatever it is.
That was the most beautiful segue ever. You're just like, if I'm not good at this, I'm going to point you to somebody who has that product, because that's 100% what affiliate marketing is. It's still a gross connotation. I know. I wish there was another word for it, or another term, because it would be more palatable, but that's it. Check out this cookbook. I can't cook, but this person can, so you might want to check it out. That's the whole point of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, kind of like changing our mindset around that, I think is something that is important if we want to be able to take advantage of it. And that's, you know, number one, you need to know, do you want to diversify your streams of income? Do you want more than what you're getting right now? And if you do, what are those options? And is that something that you want to do to be able to do that? So Luna Rose says, how do you know what you're doing isn't giving services or too much of your skills for free? I guess it's like drip feeds. Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things you need to really kind of understand is, if you don't know who your ideal client is, if you're just providing a service or just providing a product, and it's just like, you know,
yeah,
you're not targeting anyone, then there's no, like, there's nothing different than, you know, you're giving it, if anyone can do it, right, then there's no unique value that you provide for them to be like, yes, I want you instead of this other person, right? Or doing it myself or whatever it is. I mean, Jamie, what did you find in terms of, like, I mean, you just said you like give away everything for free.
yeah.
And so how have you kind of figured out what do you give away? What do you say? What do you not? How do you say it? Because I think sometimes too, it's a matter of like understanding how you're presenting it.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic question. I think all of us know that our clients have pain points. And pain points are something that makes them want to buy with you, makes them want to enlist your services for something. So for me as a wedding planner, I know that my clients' pain points are stress. I know it's finances. I know it's sometimes even opinions in their lives. I know that it's having a small budget but big dreams for their wedding. I know, I mean, there's a whole thing. They don't know how to interview vendors. They don't know how to find the right one. How do they stay on budget? I mean, all of these are questions that I know my clientele is asking. So Luna Rose events, I would say pick one pain point and just write a blog about it. You don't have to write about all of them. You don't have to address all of the pain points. Just pick one. So if it's, how do I stay on budget? Or how do I make a $10,000 budget work? I mean, that's an incredible resource to give somebody, and that's a taste, but you're giving your best stuff for that one pain point. You're not telling them how to plan their entire wedding. You're giving one pain point being addressed.
So she was saying, I struggle figuring out my ideal client and finding a niche. I'm a planner coordinator, usually working with hands in DIY clients who are really stuck into planning smaller budgets.
Yep.
And she says, thanks, Jamie, noted.
So I think I think you've just described your client avatar right there. My guess is, I don't know what the translation of budgets would be in the UK, but for me, when I first got started out, if anyone came to me with like over $30,000, I'd be like, I don't know what to do with that money. Like I only know budgets. So it sounds like that might be your current niche. Sounds like you're probably looking for hands-on DIY friendly clients who value a strategic and straightforward budget. That is your ideal client avatar from what you just told me. So if you want to keep bringing in those clients, then those are the pain points that you need to address. DIY, hands-on budgeting, how to DIY gracefully without losing your mind. So those are the pain points that's going to fit that specific demographic.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And those are things too, you know, I mean, whether you're in the UK or the US, understanding who they are. And I think the other side of that is there's sometimes wedding pros who they have a certain clientele that is making up the majority of their income, but they don't necessarily want to continue to work with that clientele. Understanding a different type of clientele, then that's really that's where you need to understand what that different clientele is looking for. So knowing who it is that you're really trying to hone in on, that's key, because otherwise you're lost, because you're like, wait, what am I doing, and who am I doing it for?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you, Luna Rose Events. Thanks for asking questions. We love that.
Yeah.
And Call Me Tiny said she'd love to be a wedding planner.
You should do it. It's the best ever. I mean, not counting this last year, but other than that, it's been incredible.
Well, you know, when you think about it, understanding the why, like why do you want to be a wedding planner? Why do you want to be in the industry? And knowing that you get to be a part of your special day. So like last week we had on Allie Phillips from Chicago, and she was saying how her favorite part of being a wedding planner is that joy, being a part of that joy. And that's the thing that she has missed the most, right? Like walking someone like through the door, or like helping them. Like it's those moments that you see, like you're like constantly tearing up, and you're like those are the things, you know, that really make your job meaningful, right? She says, I would love to make someone's special day a dating. Yes. And that's the thing. It's like you are forever in their mind, right? In all of their pictures, probably. Like literally, like they cannot think of their wedding day without thinking of you. And that's amazing. You know, I always say, like, every time I've ever done any type of education for pros, one of the first things I always say is, you know, remember that you have the most amazing opportunity to be a part of one of the most important days of a person's life, right? So keywords being opportunity, you have that opportunity. It's not, you know, don't take that for granted. Don't think it's just a job, right? And it's one of the most important days of their lives. Like besides like giving birth, having children, like, you know what I mean? Like those things are going to be there for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So you get to be a part of that. There's tons of friends and family that don't get to be a part of that, but you do. So those are things to like always remember. And like when that's your why, that like fills you. You want to help. You want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Rachel says, thank you, Jamie, for all the free content. I'm loving planning my wedding with all your help.
Rachel, you sweet soul. You are so welcome. Thank you. Like you're the reason why I do what I do. That means a lot. Man, thank you for sharing that.
I love that. So Rosalie Event Planning says, where should we start looking at different streams of income for different streams of income? Like, so what are some of those ways that they can kind of look? I mean, where do they look? What do they do?
Yeah, a great question. Take a look at things that your clients are already asking you about. What are they asking for advice on? You know, are they looking for suit rentals? I don't know. Can I say it? Generation Tux has an awesome affiliate program. You should totally check that out. Because if they're looking at suits, I love Generation Tux. They're absolutely incredible. Of course, I'm going to recommend them. And then they have the affiliate program, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm already talking about them. Or bridesmaid dresses. Hey, where are some shops that your clients have purchased at before that they had a great experience? Do any of the ones that you've had experience with have affiliate marketing? Go already to the ones that you're currently engaging with, that your clients are currently engaging with, and check their website. See if they have that kind of option, and go from there. And then what you'll really find is as it kind of keeps unfolding, you'll be like, oh, this person does, or this person does. So I know there's a ton of great resources out there, but that would be a great place to get started, is just look around of what you're already talking about.
Yeah, no, I love that. There's another, here we go, questions. Odetta Pat says, hey, some clients still asking, why do I need a wedding planner? Some of them not understanding why, some understanding, some not. They want to hire, but they don't know. But they don't know, are they sure how to explain this?
Well, I would say so I don't know if you are a wedding planner or an aspiring wedding planner. Sorry, I'm just totally taking this question. I'm like, I got this. If they're already talking to you, then they already want you. They wouldn't be investigating a wedding planner. They're just trying to figure out why you are worth it. So just take that one little tidbit to heart. Like if they're talking to a wedding planner, then clearly they already see the value. And then explain your why. Kind of like what we were just talking about a little bit ago. It's important for me to keep the timeline on track and to help manage the vendors so you can experience your day seamlessly and with joy. Like that is my why. I'll be the person to put out fires, to manage your day of timeline when things go awry, because oftentimes they do on the timeline, and that's okay. We will be the ones to redirect it, so that way you can enjoy staying out on the dance floor with all of your favorite people. You don't have to worry about X, Y, Z. You explain your heart behind what you do and how that alleviates any pain points that they might be experiencing throughout their day. But they're already talking to you, so they're already interested. I would say I also have a couple videos on it, so if you would like to go look at those and totally steal my responses, like, I don't even care. Use them. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with that. At first, I hated that question. They'd be like, why do I need a wedding planner? I'm like, I don't know. You called me. Like, you do. You tell me why you need a wedding planner, and then I'll tell you what I heard you say. Active listening for the win, you know? Like, it takes a while to figure it out.
I could just see you doing. I don't call me,
bro. You would call me, like,
right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, Odetta Pat says, "P.S. You're amazing." So Christina says, "How do you get hired by a wedding planning company? I never see job openings for planners. I'm always on the look, but sadly, never see any companies hiring."
Well, first of all, this is a rough year. Like, this is a rough year to be hired. Second of all, oftentimes it's maybe easier to get hired in like a freelance position and not an hourly rate. I know we've been doing, or like a salaried job. I've been doing this for over 5 years now, and I still don't have any salaried employees. We just don't have that kind of, I don't know, we're not there yet. So that could be step one of maybe just see if you can intern. Just see if you can just come on for an event or two. Offer your services for free, especially if you don't have any experience. You're going to need to put a little skin in the game. If you still continue to find out that you can't find one, your options are one of two things. One, to start your own company. Kind of scary. That's what I did. It worked out okay. Or two, go work for a catering company. Really, because that's going to be the closest to a wedding planner's experience, minus the food. You're still going to be managing the timeline. You have to be conscious of when things start and when things stop. Not that a DJ doesn't do that, not that a photographer doesn't do that, but caterers are very concerned with the temperature of food, as they should be. So a timeline is very important to them in a very different way. So if you can find time to intern for a catering company, awesome. Or work for a catering company, because that's more of a 9 to 5 or an actual paid gig than the wedding planner side. So hopefully there's a couple options for you.
Yeah, no, those are really good. And also think about different venues in your area that might be interested in having a freelance planner who would be helping for maybe clients who don't have their own planner, right?
Yep.
About how you can kind of partner with them, not to necessarily take away if they already have like a list of planners that they refer. Maybe that's not what you're kind of, shooting for. You're shooting more for like helping to coordinate between the venue and the other vendors, or, thinking of how you can kind of get your foot in the door for different, aspects of the wedding day. Right.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, look at all of the wedding planners that you admire in your area. Like go through and start to like get to know them, right? Comment on their posts, send them, let them know like, hey, I love your work and I would love to be able to shadow you. Like if you ever need an extra set of hands, I'm your girl, right? Like you need to kind of tell them that like you are, not only interested, but you're ready, willing, and able to do whatever it takes to be a part of, whether it's their team, helping out, learning from them, whatever it is, because those are things that, that goes really far when it comes to one, getting a job, or two, even getting good recommendations, or maybe they know someone who is hiring, right? So those are things that, again, it's in that natural stream of like, I already love this aesthetic. I already love what they do and how they do it, right? So their network is going to be similar in that vein. So if it isn't them, it should be someone who's very close to that, which would make you probably happier.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how Alyssa, who works for me, that's how she got hired on. Seriously, that's how she got hired on, because I don't do well with the cold calling. I mean, if someone called me and like, buy my product or hire me, I'd be like, I don't know you. Like, that's very sweet. Thank you. I don't know you. And that's not to say that we haven't had interns email in their resumes and we haven't used them for events before. Of course, like we are always open to accepting interns. We just have to have enough events to sustain them. But develop that relationship first. Right. Send them a message and be like, oh my gosh, this post is amazing. Thank you for the incredible work that you do. You inspire me. If you ever need help, I'd be super happy to jump in and intern for an event. You just let me know. And then continue to engage, because what you're doing sometimes when job hunting is you are cold calling, but only if they're hiring will they be interested in talking to you. If they're not hiring, like I wasn't hiring, and Alyssa, I love Alyssa. I hope she watches this back later. She kept emailing, not annoyingly, but she was like 2-3 weeks later, because I didn't get back to her. I was mortified. She's like, hey, just want to follow up on this. Incredible. She just was consistent in her kind and warm-hearted communication. And after that, I was like, yeah, dude. Like, and now now she's one of the main gals that works in or in our business, which is cool.
That's awesome. But those are the things, like, one, if she would have been the type of person who'd been like, hi, hire me. You would have been like, no.
Okay, thank you. No.
But understanding, again, like, okay, if this is something that you really want to work with this particular planner, company, whatever it is, right? Understand that, like, you get busy, right? So maybe they get busy too. And so if they didn't respond, maybe it's not because, like, oh, I'm a horrible person and nobody wants to hire me. Maybe it's because they're busy. And so when you reply again, or you're, emailing back and saying, like, hey, just wanted to check in. Again, I really love your work. I'd love for the opportunity to be able to work with you, right?
Yeah.
It's complimentary. It's nice. And again, even if it's not them, maybe they know somebody else, right? And those are the things that you have to remember. Like, it's not just about, like, I just need a job, or I just want to do this. It's all those touch points in the wedding industry, especially. Everybody has, like, it's like less than, 6 degrees of separation. Like, there's like 0.5 degrees of separation, not even. Like, everybody know, like, you can be, like, you might have to work with them later on. So you want to make sure that your interaction is not going to be something that comes back to bite you in the butt later.
Yes. Be nice. Oh, just be kind and be courteous and be gracious, because guess what? You may be working with these people for the next 10 years if you stick it out in this business. And that could be really fun, because we've all had those shifts where we, like, show up to work and our coworkers were like, yes, like, this is the best roster for today. I know we're going to have an amazing day. That's exactly what it's like when you can build and foster those healthy, like, vendor relationships.
Yes.
Where you look at the lineup for the day and you're like, yeah, buddy, like, this is going to be good. Like, I love this DJ, or this photographer is hilarious, or I really enjoy my experience with this caterer. Their chicken is bomb. Those kinds of things. So I agree. Definitely already always leaning and leading with kindness, I think, is important.
I love that. So now tell us about the master plan, because I heard a little bit about this.
Yes.
And I wanted you to kind of talk a little bit more about what it is, who it's for, why, like, all of the things that go with that.
So this is kind of what I alluded to earlier in the live. This is an online wedding planning course to take clients through the entire process that I take my personal clients through. So I was like, I wonder if I could digitize. I wonder if I could go digital with this information, to take all of the spreadsheets that I use with my clients, the PDFs, if I could take some of the stuff that I have in videos and put it in chronological order. Because if you ever go to my channel, it's a hot mess. Like, there is no order. I just do videos what I feel like, when I feel like them. It's not cute. It's all over the place. So I was like, maybe I could put something together. But for me, it was super important to put it at a price point where I could meet the needs of those whose needs were not currently being met by the wedding industry. Because the wedding industry is not meant to serve $10,000 budgets. They're just not. It's not profitable for a lot of vendors, and that's understandable. But I was a less than $10,000 budget bride. And I think it's, what's the statistic? I think like 80% of couples get married without any sort of wedding planner or wedding day of coordinator help at all whatsoever. So whether that's because they choose to or because their budget doesn't allow for it, I mean, I didn't have a coordinator. My wedding day was a hot mess. So I wanted it to be something that could fit a resource for, especially, I mean, for me, when people would be like, hey, Jamie, we'd love to work with you. Our budget is $8,000. And I was like, oh, I want to help you, but I can't work for that amount. It's not profitable. And it's not fair to take that much of your budget. So then I could go, here, actually, look at this, what I have for you. It's everything that I take my clients through. It's got the PDFs, it's got the spreadsheets. I think the timeline spreadsheet, you type in like 4 or 5 numbers and it generates your entire day of timeline for you. I mean, it's just chef's kiss. It's so, so good, but it serves the needs of those who I cannot serve in an in-person capacity or in a client capacity. So that was the intent behind it, because that was me when I was getting married. I was like, I was doing that, running around on Pinterest, grabbing every single resource I could and trying to hole punch it and put it into a binder and like organize. But I couldn't afford to talk to a professional. And I was like, they wouldn't want to help me anyways. So that's where my heart was with it. And that's kind of the beautiful beast it's turned out to be. And it's really been very helpful for those who can't afford a wedding planner or who have chosen to not spend that amount on a wedding planner. So
I love that. That's so good. And so it's for couples.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But it also sounds like it could be helpful for planners. Like,
Yes.
if you planner and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have this whole mentorship program that we're doing right now called the Union Mastermind. We've got like 30 plus planners in it. I love every single one of them to death. And we offered them access to the course. And this sounds kind of braggy to talk about my own course like this, but all of them are like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. This shows how we could plan. This shows what we're supposed to do first, second, third, 12th. Like it gives me the order of things because I wasn't quite sure when things are supposed to be done. Because if you go on Pinterest, you will see 82 different timelines, like just completely different ones. And you're like, well, is it 6 months or is it 8 months? Because you're saying both. So I don't know where it's supposed to be. So yeah, it was basically a brain dump. And so that's something that we've offered to all of those planners. And they've been really liking the resource. And so I also see it as an opportunity for those either to take as a newbie wedding planner, just being like, I don't know what I'm doing, or to add as an add-on option, especially if you only do day of coordination and you want to make sure that when the client's binder gets put into your hands, that you don't get it and go, yikes. Because we've all had those clients where you just go, oh, we are a month away and you don't have stuff done.
You're like, we're a month away. And
you don't have a DJ, your photographer's not responding to your emails. Like, oh my gosh, okay, I didn't anticipate this. So that for me, I think is a great way to set up a client up for success without you having to do it because yeah, that last minute crunch is brutal.
No, that's not anything anybody ever wants to go. No. Yeah. So we have to go all the way back here. So Christina said, thank you for answering our questions. Amazing advice. Still the show says, I'm a planner in the mastermind. So great.
I love you.
Rose says, I love this. I've had planning for my business too. Platform for downloading, editing documents. Much more research is needed on my end. Storybook collab says the master plan is awesome. I've learned so much.
Wow.
But those are the things that, like, understanding that, number one, as a planner, you could take the master plan and you could actually use that. And then the other part is you can actually refer your clients there so that they are better prepared or prepared at all.
Yeah.
To be really honest here. That they are at all for your services, which don't start when they're engaged, which don't start 2 months after they're engaged, 4 months after they're engaged. It starts, you know what I mean? So those are the things too, that making sure that, again, if you're wanting to do full coordination, that's great. But if you're not, or if your clients aren't able to afford that or don't want that, then what are you doing to make sure that your day, like, your job should not be, I just get to put out fires that everyone else creates. Like, that's not your job. And that's not a fun job. If that is your job, that's not a fun job.
No, that's brutal. And why do I know that? Because I've been there. I mean, when we all first start, like, we're so hungry that we'll do almost anything. Boundaries were an issue for me in the beginning. I talk about it all the time, especially like my mastermind peeps are probably like, oh my gosh, if we took a sip of a beverage every time Jamie said boundaries, then, like, you know. But I think getting that squared away early on is super, super helpful and really important. And then also, if you're not in the budget space, like if someone comes to you with a $5,000 budget and you're like, sis, I want to help, I so do, but I'm not the right person for you.
Right.
I'd take half your budget alone. You can then open up a whole new resource, a whole new opportunity to serve the needs of someone who's not going to be met by almost anyone else in the wedding industry. Because again, that's not a profitable space for us. Right. With reason, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Luna Rose says she's about to have fourth baby. So
congratulations.
Yay.
I love babies.
So fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, those are the things that, like, whether it's pandemic life, whether it is having a fourth baby.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like there are so many different life shifts that happen, whether it's like taking care of your parents or helping, like you have to move to a new place, whatever it is, right? Understanding, okay, if I'm pivoting, and I think, you know, it's such a cliche now, like, oh, just pivot, but understand that it's like, okay, so pivoting doesn't have to mean like, oh, I'm at my wit's end and I don't know what else to do and I have no more, you know, money coming in, you know, and it out of desperation. Like pivoting can also mean like I'm expanding, I'm adding new things and changing, because I think evolution of your business is something that should always be a part of your business if you are going to stay in business. Otherwise, it's, you know, because the world doesn't change and couples getting married certainly do, because you know, we're going from millennials to Gen Z. So if you're not prepared to change, that's a problem. So knowing exactly what it is that you need to do to stay relevant and current, and who your ideal client is now, not just who it was when you started or 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. Luna Rose says, thank you. She says, God, I'm so round. We'll be the third son and I have one daughter. Yay. I love that. I know, like awesome. That's the worst is like right at the end. You're like, could I get any bigger?
The end of pregnancy.
Like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh, like you go through those sweet moments, you go through the beautiful moments. And then I think, well, I mean, my first round was twins. So like the last 3 weeks, I was like, nobody talk to me. Don't even look at me. Like just spoon feed me golden spoon frozen yogurt and leave the room. Okay. That's it. That's all I want from you. And my stomach feels like it's literally going to pop. Yeah. So yeah, those last few weeks are brutal.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Luna Roosevelt says the answer is always yes. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yep. I love it. Good. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I think it's one of the things that people sometimes don't always know where to start. And so they think, okay, so what am I going to do? Or how do I digitize, right? What am I supposed to do? And they're like, oh, just make a downloadable. Like, what do I make it on? Or what do I do? I think a lot of the ideas that you talked about are really helpful, because you, as a planner, right, as a professional, photographer, florist, doesn't matter what category you are, as a professional, there are things that you know that your couples don't. And so if you just even talk for 2 seconds about one thing, put it in a blog post, put it on a downloadable, put it in a course, whatever it is that you're doing, that could be an additional stream of revenue, and it can also help with your lead generation. So that you did that. So Luna Rose says, she said 4 hot cross buns after.
You're the real MVP, dear. You are the real MVP.
Yeah. She says, thank you both ladies. Amazing influence, both of you. Thanks for answering. Of course. Absolutely.
Happy to do so.
When so I'll be in the UK in September. I'm usually there September and March. So we'll try to do a fun.
What? You have a usually for the UK? Get out of here.
I do. Yes, I do.
Bitter Betty over here. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not cool. I want to have a usually for a foreign country. Like I usually go to the grocery store on Tuesdays.
Yeah. So once we're able to like safely travel and stuff, you get to one of my usually trips. Yep.
Y'all heard it here. Hold her.
We're gonna Gordon Ramsay that. We're gonna be like, oh yeah.
I just got
eating. You, me, and Gordon. We're gonna be like eating. Yes.
It's gonna be so good.
I know. All right, I'll have to lose weight before we do this, because I'm gonna gain it back eating like who knows what.
We're gonna eat our way through London. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be great.
I'm sure that he uses like real delicious like butter, cheese, you know, the stuff that that's the good stuff right there.
If anyone is to jump onto this live right now, they'd be like, what is happening? And we can't help you at this point. You're gonna have to rewatch it after she posts this, because we've gone off the rails at this point. But no, there is one thing that I wanted to share about like the whole pivot. It is, instead of a pivot, it could be a broadening, which I think is like the best way of recentering your mind, whatever it happens to be, like refocusing. So it's not, I'm not pivoting where you're like, oh no, now I'm only doing digital stuff. It's like I'm making my circle of income bigger and I'm making my circle of income bigger. Like I bought a photo booth today.
Yeah.
Who gave me permission? I don't know, but we're gonna add photo booths onto our services if people want to pay a little bit extra. So we're learning to make more out of the same amount of time that we're currently offering services. So yeah, that's, if you think about it in that respect, how to make more for things I'm already doing without just cranking up my prices.
I love that. I love it. And with that, I think there's a mic drop. That's done. Let's make more.
And if this has been something that's like, if you are a planner and this has been something that's intrigued you, we do have an affiliate program with the master plan because we believe really, really strongly in it. So if that's something that you're interested in, of course, feel free to hit us up on that because, again, it does offer you that opportunity to help clients that can't afford you anyways, or that you want them to be more organized by the time they get to you. So we'd be really happy to help you broaden your scope and earn more off of the same amount of time because we believe in the product so firmly and we think that you will see the same value in it as well.
I love it. Yay. Jamie, thank you so much. Always a pleasure and so much fun. And I can't wait. Our UK trip's going to be awesome. And Luna Rose event says we're going to do the masterclass with cheese. Yes, we are. Lots of cheese.
All the cheese. All the cheese. You're going to have to roll me onto the plane afterwards. And be like, who's that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, man.
It's pretty much just how it's going to have to be.
Mm-hmm. As the Lord intended. As the Lord intended.
I love it. Well, everyone, have a great night. Thanks so much for joining. And Amy, thank you again. Thank you so much again. Luna, we're going to have to get a goat. She says, screw it. Let's get a goat. Done.
Oh, I already have 5.
Oh!
I'm turning like a farmer here. I don't know who I am. It's fine.
All right. Well, then cheese is on. So basically, we need to go see Jamie. We're going to get our cheese on. And then we're going to go see Gordon in the UK and get some more cheese.
So sign up for our usually trip downvote link in bio. You know, it's tour guide with cheese and Gordon Ramsay. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. Good thoughts to leave on today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a treat. And we're doing Clubhouse tomorrow morning, right?
Yes, Clubhouse tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. So join us back again and more talk of who knows what. I mean, there will be obviously, diverse, but cheese. The cheese part, it's like, making cheese.
Yeah,
there's so many things that we could talk about.
So many
things. Yes, we will be talking about that. And I might be eating cheese at the same time.
Because who doesn't love good audio with people eating, right? Am I right?
That's why they have the mute button. That's the only reason.
Cheese. Oh, we've officially gone off the rails.
I know, right? Oh, all right. Well, everyone have a wonderful night. Jamie, thank you again so much. And I'll talk to you in the morning.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.